from Morecambe myself. Spent 2.5 years studying at School, which is just down the road, to get my education. Then went off to Man City, did 2 years at the training ground at Man City, and then left Man City and went down to Reading and did 5 years down, 4.5 years down at Reading. And then was contacted by the club, went through a little bit of an interview stage because Terry was, the old head groundsman, was retiring, well, semi-retiring. And then we came here and had a chat and everything worked right. The 7 months has gone really fast actually. It's been a massive experience for me, really enjoying it. Just to be part of the project, even at Man City, you know, going from a little training ground, you know, a 3-4 pitch, 5 pitch site to, you know, City Football Academy, if you're aware, you know, obviously there's 17, 18 grass pitches, you know, all with massive amounts of construction involved. So being part of that and kind of learning at a young age and the transition between the move of training grounds and being part of that, I was really lucky to be involved in that, which was massive, and I'll take that forward for many years. Massive amounts of experience, but you've just got to now kind of be mature enough to bring yourself down and take that with you to Morecambe, you know, to a smaller club, you know, and bring that experience here and hopefully improve things here, which we certainly are at the minute. So yeah, it's all positives. Yeah, I've got to come in, I've got a task to do, you know, we've got to improve things, and having, you know, like I say, my experience and Terry's experience, the two can work quite well together. So yeah, the relationship between us two is quite strong. It's essentially not my pitch yet, it's still Terry's pitch, because we haven't had the renovation work done. I've only just had, you know, a few touches in terms of keeping the pitch healthy and, you know, making it look nice and, you know, presenting nice lines and white lines and stuff like that. So in terms of this summer, when we do get the renovation, you know, we've got a proper plan in place this summer, which will certainly help the pitch into next season. It is one of the wettest months of the year. People usually think, you know, December and January are the wettest months. You know, they're not. They're usually the coldest. But certainly coming out of January into February into March, you know, all the pitches, you know, certainly in the lower leagues, will struggle because they haven't got the reinforcement or the drainage that some of the, you know, the high-end championship teams and the Premiership teams have. You know, they spend 500, 600, 700,000 on making sure that they can play lots and lots of games. And so certainly for, you know, ourselves and, you know, a couple of other clubs that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, you know, they've been struggling. But as long as you're doing the right things as a groundsman, you know, making sure that the surface is open for the water to go somewhere. But again, you know, balancing that and training sessions and football sessions, you don't really know what goes on at other clubs. You know, do they train on their pitches, or as long as the pitch has the right things done, you know, like aeration programs and things like that, to, like I say, alleviate that surface pressure for the water to be able to get through. But certainly, like I say, once we get into March, the health is good out there. You know, we do have lots of grass besides half of it that's, you know, like I said, we were in February, we have lost a lot of coverage, but there's still a lot of grass out there, and as soon as we get past that and, you know, we start getting them temperatures right, you know, with the right feed programme and that, you know, I've sat down and I've got planned right through to the end of the year. Once we get that warm weather come through, we should get that growth through, and then obviously the lower profiles will start to dry out. But you know, this year this time of the year the water tables are high, so you know, you've just, like I said before, isn't it? Like, you've just got to make sure you balance it right in terms of what you're doing out there. But yeah, we've got a plan in place. You know, like I say, regular feeding, regular aeration to the end of the season, and then as soon as we get to end of April, you know, the last game's the 30th of April. That'll be it then. We'll be getting ready for the renovation, which is booked in for the end of May. So what we're actually doing this summer, we're not when you use the expression we're having a pitch renovation, and people maybe come back and say, oh, you're digging it up. You know, that's a common phrase in terms of, fans or people in the club say, oh, you're digging it up. Well, we're not actually digging it up, essentially. We're not going to have big JCBs in here, but there's a machine that comes in and takes off 20 or 30 mil, just kind of skims off the top layer, which will allow for any dying or organic matter that was sat there throughout the seasons. Bearing in mind the pitch hasn't had that since 2019, so the build-up can get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that again is another issue for drainage. So when the machine called the Coro comes in and takes that layer off, it'll just essentially refresh the surface. We'll then reapply the sand, and you can reapply anything between 60 and 100 tonnes. Will go back on top, and then the seed will go back on top of that. And then with the correct growing in programme, which is your nutrition to get the pitch up, from bios to spray liquids to anything that for, just to get the plant up and growing for the start of the season. So it'll definitely be a fresher pitch next summer into next year. Hopefully that will eradicate some of the issues that we've got out there with standing water and getting that water through as fast as we can. And again, integrating the correct aeration programme throughout next season with that new surface on the top, we should be in a good place.